begin with a very special person joining us now to deliver the keynote address. She is the founder and CEO of Africa Women Enterprises. She is an MBA from the University of Liverpool in the UK and a mentor to businesses across various sectors. She believes that entrepreneurs and startups have a huge role in job creation and skills transfer in South Africa and across the continent. The upliftment of women and girl child is a particular focus. She is a volunteer for the South African Police Services as a first responder at crime scenes caring for victims of crime. Africa Women Enterprises plans to use current and future technologies in 3D printing in the construction industry, water tech, and renewable energy tech sectors to disrupt, challenge, and enhance the status quo of life for people across the continent of Africa. Let me proudly invite Ms. Nicole Petyt for her keynote address. Over to you, Nicole.
Thanks, Aparna. I just have to apologize ahead of time. My voice is not great. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as Aparna says, to everybody, wherever you may be in the world. I'm speaking about why sustainability is important to driving business success. And what can we as leaders do to ensure that sustainability goals are achieved? My fellow leaders will speak today on diversity, inclusion, equality, diversity and culture, sustainability training, breaking gender bias, gender equality, diversity and inclusion, climate change, sustainability and environment. All of us need to be sure that as leaders, whatever our passion is, we ensure sustainability goals are achieved. What we also need to realize is that one sustainability goal is never in isolation from another. Okay, and how do we do this? One way is not to shy away from the harsh realities of life without basic human rights. We need to see the bad to make it good. I'd like to ask you to imagine for a moment that you have little to no fresh or running water at all. This is a violation of SDGs 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, just at face value. The task of fetching water in many developing nations falls to women and girls, and UNICEF said in 2016 that the 200 million hours women and girls spend every day collecting water is a colossal waste of their time. I believe not much has changed. When we look at the wider ranging effects of having little to no water and onto whom the task of collecting water falls, the implications become clearer. The violation of SDGs 5, 8, and 10. It is time for responsible businesses to change things for the better. We can see that the absence of water is not just one SDG violation. Imagine further that you are a women-led business for good, conscious of the problems faced by children attending school every day and adults living in squalor through no fault of their own. Money from the fiscus is allocated year on year to help improve the lives of the population through the installation of clean running potable water, the necessary infrastructure maintenance of the system needed to keep this precious resource flowing. And this never happens. Your business and many others have solutions to this terrible problem, sustainable solutions, but will not be able to put them into practical use. Next slide. This, my friends, is a pit latrine. This is from 2014 in the Observers. A young boy has died in a South African school after falling into an open pit toilet and drowning in fecal matter. Thank you. Next slide. This is also a pit latrine. There's a young child sitting on a pit latrine in the open for everyone to see. This is a disgrace. Opinion, safe sanitation in rural schools. a life deferred. And this is Michael Kamape, age 5, died in 2014. And the Minister of Education admits that over 4,000 South African public schools still use PIT latrines. That was in 2020. This is a disgrace, an unacceptable disgrace. Now, not only is it water, but following on from that, in 1668, a profound statement was made. Scientia potentia est. Knowledge is power. It's attributed to Sir Francis Bacon, to his secretary, Thomas Hobbes, to Thomas Jefferson. It's attributed to APJ Abdul Kalam in India and to Daniel in the Bible. I would like to take some poetic license and say, power is knowledge, and power means electricity. No access to electricity is dangerous in many ways. Despite being home to 17% of the world's population, Africa currently accounts for just 4% of global power supply investment. Achieving reliable electricity supply for all would require an almost 4-fold increase to around $120 billion a year through to 2040. This is an untenable situation and violates a number of SDGs, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 11. The repercussions are far-reaching, with seemingly no consideration from those on high. As a result, there are man-made droughts as people resort to cutting down each and every available tree to use for cooking and heating. This is a young boy doing his homework, his schoolwork, by street light, as he has no light in his own home. The dangers of living with no electricity. The alternatives to cooking, heating, and lighting without electricity are candles, paraffin stoves, and paraffin heaters. At night, when it is cold, the candles or the paraffin stove or both are left to light during the night. They fall over and blankets or clothing catch alight. Fires spread quickly across densely populated settlements, and these fires are often fatal, especially in winter. In addition, cooking with paraffin can lead to COPD or asthma in those exposed to the fumes. These are lifelong conditions. Sadly, there are alternatives, but governments don't want to open up to this market or this market to IPPs. The alternative solves so many problems. So what can leaders do to drive business sustainability and SDGs? We need to stare down adversity. We need to be tenacious, determined, and brave. We need to stick to our plans and never give up. We need to keep our goals in sight always. We need to remember we are capable, and we must encourage critical thinking skills in generations to come. We need to start speaking of generational sustainability. This must become a new buzzword. We must constantly ask questions of the powers that be. If governments are failing, challenge where possible. Be passionate about your message and your mission always. Revisit your business plan in respect of the SDGs you are addressing often. Technology and circumstances change often. Approach business sustainability on a multi-level. Use more than one technology to achieve your goals. A multi-level approach will lead to multi-success, where a single-level approach may never take off. Collaborate with other leaders. Each idea will blossom into a new, multifaceted idea, leading to others. And finally, a challenge. I would like to issue a challenge to all funders, investors, bankers, to give some constructive feedback. Only 2% of funding went to women-led startups last year. Please tell us why. Are the plans not good enough? Are the exit strategies not yielding enough? Are the margins not aggressive enough? If we want to improve on this figure of 2%, we need your feedback. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for this, for sharing this serious issue. As you said, we should focus on generational sustainability, and this cannot wait, right? And really, I salute your commitment for coming and speaking today, even though you were, facing a very difficult time. And
Thanks for your
looking
help.
forward, yeah, looking forward. Let's work together to change the situation.